Recently, an AI redesign of the Intergalactic Heretic Prophet lead went kind of viral on social media. It upset a lot of people who were calling you an Isterophobe if you supported this image that probably took 30 seconds to generate. But apparently, it started a little bit of a trend in the gaming sphere, and a lot of individuals are very, very hurt by this. I have a few different things to show off, but before I get into the topic, if you enjoy the content I create, check out the links in the description, join the community in my live streams, and consider supporting through Patreon or YouTube memberships. Now, I don't think that every single character in video games needs to be a 10 out of 10. I don't think every man needs to be the peak of masculinity. I don't think every female has to be the peak of femininity. I think that it's okay if a character just looks average, but unfortunately, we do know that recent character designs in the AAA video game space have narratives behind them. There is a reason why they are not actually creating feminine characters most of the time. There is a reason why they take actresses who can be sort of dolled up, like Tati Gabrielle, who has looked pretty feminine in other pieces of media, and why they shave their head, put them in masculine clothing, have them act like men. It is because they want to fight the male gaze, which of course is a fictional concept. They don't want games to really appeal to just men anymore. And of course, they are really just modernizing the characters and their personalities, their looks, things like that. It hasn't really worked out very well, though, as we've seen by several failures with extremely ugly lead characters. And there are a lot of gamers who are upset with the fact that there is a very clear reason why characters that are female generally are not attractive when it comes to Western video games. And that's why gamers are looking to other markets and regions like South Korea, like China, like Japan, because they have a higher likelihood of actually creating really good character designs and just really good games in general. I don't think that a lead character looking pretty or ugly makes or breaks a game, but I do think it is a big factor in marketing your title and kind of catching my interest, and I know a lot of people would agree. Though Smash JT had posted this AI redesign of the Intergalactic lead just a few days ago, and it's upset a lot of people. There are tons of comments from people saying, oh, I generated an image of you, and then it's like a clown face. Maybe AI could generate you a girlfriend next. Grow up. This character on the right is boring and bland. You need to find yourself a girlfriend mate, which is just so funny because if you are somebody who gets upset by an AI generated image that probably took 30 seconds to make, you are the sensitive snowflake and you are the one who is triggered over literally everything. But Smash had posted this image, and of course, there are these people who are freaking out, though it's led to other discussions about basically ugly characters in the video game industry. There are some other AI generated images floating around. There are some people talking about mods for games like Spiderman 2, which basically remove wokeness from the game. There are comparisons between different characters. Like there is a thread talking about different characters like Tifa and Commander Thera from Doom, comparing a dude versus a lady. And obviously Commander Thera is a woman, but she does look extremely masculine. It does make sense in terms of the Doom universe, right? That she's not a 10 out of 10 bombshell, but at the same time, people are still allowed to not like her character design. And this has upset some activists who are saying like, oh, it's always the ugliest men, calling this out. And oh my gosh, you are the problem with the video game industry. They're both ladies, you dumbass. Both are women. But another big thread that is floating around is from an account called Polywar that says the work that the modders have done on the PC version of Spider-Man 2 is tremendous. They've eliminated all the wokeism from the game. Now, I think Spider-Man 2 is just a really bad game in general. The first one was amazing. The sequel definitely let me down, similar to the way that The Last of Us Part 2 did. But we do know that Sweet Baby Inc. consulted on this game, and that's another major issue with these activists who are saying, oh, you're just a racist, bigot, sexist, loser if you want MJ to look attractive, or you download a mod that happens to make a black character white, because they are ignoring the fact that Sweet Baby Inc. and similar narrative consultation companies exist to force diversity into games. I think that diversity and inclusion, when done naturally, is amazing, and I think a lot of people would agree with that. But Sweet Baby Inc. intentionally is brought onto a project to increase the diversity, and it's forced. A lot of people can tell. And so you are saying one form of forced ideology is bad in this case, but forced ideology, when it's done on your side and by people you agree with, is good. Both of them are technically bad. But if you are going to play with fire, you are going to be fought with fire. There are people who will do a complete extreme in a situation just to counter your extreme. Now, I personally wouldn't download a mod like this simply because I'm not going to rebuy the game and I'm not going to replay the game, so I don't need it. But it is so hilarious to see people freaking out over an optional mod that they do not have to download, which really does, again, change the looks of characters. There's people saying, ha ha ha, damn, you get pissed off about seeing real people in a video game, but they are also getting pissed off at an image of those same characters in a video game. It doesn't matter. You can't actually debate with these people because they've got a 20 IQ. Imagine being such a loser that to play a game you need a mod that removes black and gay people to replace them with straight plastic dolls. This has triggered so many wokies. Yet when it's the other way around, they cheer. It's obviously malice at this point. I can tell you why: freedom of choice. Tyrants hate it when you have freedom of choice. Without it, you are controllable. They hate that they can't control you. So many of them are trying to gaslight us that the ugly ones look like normal women. The weirdest part for me is the first two comparisons. The character barely looks human on the left and looks objectively better on the right. I'm not even talking about the skin color either. I think that if they kept the skin color the same, I'd still say she looks objectively better. Why do people gotta defend the uggos? Because they are uggos and because they have inserted themselves into these pieces of entertainment, because of course they are narcissists, and if they don't see themselves in a game or a movie or a TV show, they cannot relate because they are extremely shallow. And that is the number one problem with these people, is they constantly need to insert their sexuality into the character they're creating. They need to make a character's outward appearance look like them. A character might have quirks that they have, and it's just really weird. So yes, right now, a lot of wokies are becoming extremely triggered over a few edited character designs, comparisons, and 30-second AI-generated images, and it just goes to show how fragile these people really are. But that's all that I really had to discuss in this video. Let everyone know your thoughts in the comments below. If you found this important, informative, and entertaining, make sure to give it a like, share it, and subscribe to the channel. And if you didn't, give it a dislike. I appreciate your support either way, but I'll talk to you all again in the next video really soon.